Picture this: a small, quiet farming village in rural Indonesia. Now imagine the sound of shredding guitar riffs, thundering drums, and these powerful, searing vocals just ripping through that quiet. This is the incredible story of three teenage girls in hijabs who picked up instruments and, well, they started a revolution.
You see, in their local Sundanese language, Baceprot means noisy, chatty. It was a name people threw at them, kind of like an insult. Conservative voices in their community told them flat out that their heavy metal music was haram, forbidden. But instead of being silenced, they took that name, they owned it, and they turned the volume way, way up.
So that's the big question, right? How in the world did this trio go from a remote village to the main stages of the biggest music festivals on the planet, all while challenging just about every stereotype you can think of about metal, faith, and feminism?
To really understand their incredible journey, we have to go right back to the beginning, back to an environment that, honestly, couldn't seem less likely to produce a heavy metal explosion.
Okay, to really get how radical their whole story is, you have to understand where they started. This wasn't some big city with a cool underground music scene. This was Garut, West Java, super rural, agrarian, and deeply, deeply conservative. The expected path for young women there? It was usually about domestic roles, not world tours. Their entire story plays out against this backdrop. This quote from Marja, the lead singer and guitarist, it just grounds you in their reality, you know? It paints this picture of a peaceful, almost sweet upbringing that is just in such stark contrast to the aggressive, powerful music they were about to create. It's the classic story of quiet beginnings hiding a very, very loud future. So the turning point came from the most unexpected place. The three friends, they weren't exactly model students. They were restless, always ending up in the counselor's office. But this counselor, Abba Erza, he saw something in that rebellious energy. He didn't try to crush it, he gave it an outlet. He showed them System of a Down's toxicity on his laptop, and in that one moment, everything changed. That was the spark. So they had the passion. They had the sound. But how does a band from a tiny village with almost no resources break through to a global audience? Well, the answer, like it is for so many these days, was the internet. Their strategy was pretty simple, really, and it was born out of necessity. They just got really good by playing covers of their heroes. Their mentor, Abba Erza, would film them and upload the videos to YouTube. And here's the wild part. The girls themselves didn't even have internet access to see what was happening. They were becoming a viral sensation without even knowing it. And when they released their own original music, man, the explosion was even bigger. Their single God Allow Me Please to Play Music has over 5 million views on YouTube. This proved this wasn't just some novelty act. This was a real band with a real message that was connecting with millions of people. Viral videos are one thing, right? But the true test is turning that online buzz into real-world success. And for Voice of Baceprot, that translation was nothing short of spectacular. And they weren't just playing small clubs. We're talking about the holy grails of music festivals. Wacken, the biggest metal festival in the world, and then Glastonbury in 2024. They made history there. They were the very first Indonesian band to ever play that iconic festival. They had officially arrived. But what makes Voice of Baceprot more than just a great metal band is what they're actually singing about. Their music is a vehicle for this incredibly powerful message of defiance and social change. At its heart, their songwriting is a direct challenge to the systems they see as oppressive. This isn't just noise for the sake of making noise. It is a smart, articulate critique of the world around them, and they take on everything from gender roles to problems they saw in their own schools. This lyric right here is their anthem. It's a powerful plea aimed squarely at their conservative critics. They're basically saying, our music isn't an attack on faith. It's a fundamental expression of who we are, and it's our right to have a voice. And they are 100% unapologetically feminist. In a culture where women's roles can be so strictly defined, their music became this blistering platform to demand equality and to demand control over their own bodies. I mean, you can't get much more direct than that. This line from their song, Not Public Property, is an anthem against sexual harassment and this whole idea that a woman's body is something to be policed or judged by other people. It's bold, it's defiant, and it is so incredibly necessary. Being this bold, though, created this fascinating and, frankly, dangerous paradox. The very things that were making them global icons were also making them targets in their own community.
The difference in how they were received is just staggering. On one side, you have their heroes, people like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, calling them ferocious and awesome. Global publications celebrated them. But back home, the opposition got violent. They were attacked, pelted with rocks, they got death threats. People even cut their power mid-concert, all just to try and silence them.
So how do you handle that kind of intense pressure, that kind of danger? For them, the answer was simple. They knew that what their haters wanted most was for them to stop. So their response was to do the exact opposite, to turn that fear into fuel and to just keep rocking on. And it's through that resilience that Voice of Baceprot has become something so much bigger than a band. They've become a symbol, a powerful voice for a generation that just refuses to be defined by anyone else's expectations. Their legacy is already immense. They've completely shattered stereotypes about what a Muslim woman can be. In a time of rising Islamophobia, they've offered this powerful counter-narrative. They've proved that you can wear a hijab and absolutely shred a guitar, that faith and feminism can go hand in hand, and that real art, it doesn't care about borders.
This quote from Marzia just sums up their whole philosophy, doesn't it? Silence is acceptance. The only way to create change, to fight back against the things you believe are wrong, is to make some noise, and that is exactly what they have done.
Voice of Baceprot proved that 3 teenagers from a small village could make a sound loud enough to be heard around the entire globe. It just leaves you wondering, who else is out there right now getting ready to plug in, turn it up, and become the next voice that refuses to be ignored?